Picture it more than 470 million years ago. A vast and silent world, its continents rocky, lifeless, and bare. The land stretched out in endless desert-like plains with no trace of greenery, while oceans teemed with strange marine creatures. In this stark environment, the stage was set for one of the most profound transformations in Earth's history, the conquest of land by plants. The first pioneers were not mighty trees or leafy shrubs, but tiny, fragile plants similar to modern mosses and liver. They hugged the damp edges of ancient shorelines, clinging to moisture in the thin soils. These primitive organisms lacked roots, stems, and leaves. Yet their presence marked the beginning of a revolution that would turn barren rock into living landscapes. These early land plants survived by absorbing water and nutrients directly through their tip, which limited them to humid places. Still, their ability to live outside the oceans opened a door no other complex organism had dared to cross. They began stabilizing soils and creating the very first patches of terrestrial ecosystems. During the Ordovician period, tiny spores scattered inland with winds and rains, slowly adapting to harsher and drier conditions. Each new generation extended a little farther from the coasts, though invisible to the naked eye at first. This creeping spread of greenery laid the foundation for forests millions of years later. By the Devonian period, around 400 million years ago, plants experienced a dramatic leap forward. They evolved vascular tissue xylem and phloem microscopic tubes that transported water, minerals, and sugars efficiently throughout their bodies. This innovation freed plants from staying small and allowed them to grow taller than ever before. Roots also evolved, drilling deep into the soil to anchor plants and extract vital nutrients. Leaves widened into flat surfaces that captured sunlight more effectively. These adaptations gave plants a competitive edge, transforming them into complex, resilient organisms capable of shaping the environment around them. Among the earliest giants was Archaeopteryx, a tree-like plant that could reach heights of 10 meters. With wood-like trunks and branching leaves, it represented the first step toward true forests. The Devonian landscape, once barren, became dotted with these towering pioneers. The spread of forests altered Earth's systems on a planetary scale. Vast canopies absorbed carbon dioxide and released oxygen, shifting the balance of the atmosphere. Weathering of rocks intensified as roots split stone and drew minerals into the biosphere, creating fertile soils that supported even more life. The air grew richer in oxygen, temperatures cooled, and animal life responded in turn. Arthropods crawled onto land, amphibians thrived near swamps, and ecosystems began to diversify in ways never before possible. Plants had not only conquered land, they had made it habitable. By the Carboniferous period, about 360 million years ago, the Earth was cloaked in immense swampy forests, towering like hopsids, stretched up to 30 meters tall, while giant horsetails and tree ferns filled the understory. These forests formed dense, humid jungles, unlike anything alive today. The atmosphere of the Carboniferous was extraordinary. Oxygen levels reached nearly 35%, far higher than the 21% of modern air. This oxygen-rich environment allowed insects to grow to monstrous sizes. Dragonflies, with wingspans of 70 centimeters, dominated the skies, and millipedes the length of cars crawled across the forest floor. The decay of fallen plants created thick mats of organic matter in swamp borders. Over millions of years, these deposits compressed into vast coal seams. Today, much of the world's coal reserves are fossilized remains of these Carboniferous forests, linking our modern energy systems directly to ancient plant evolution. Yet stability did not last. As Earth entered the late Carboniferous and Permian periods, climates became drier, and swamp forests shrank. Plants had to adapt once more to survive harsher conditions far from wetlands. Out of this challenge emerged a new evolutionary innovation: the seed. Seeds protected plant embryos with hard coats, allowing them to endure droughts and sprout when conditions improved. This gave rise to the gymnosperms conifers, cycads, and gink. Gymnosperms were perfectly suited to drier, upland regions where ferns and mosses could not thrive. Their tough, needle-like leaves reduced water loss, while cones sheltered and dispersed their seeds. Within a few million years, Gymnosperms had spread across the continents, dominating ancient landscapes. These forests provided food and shelter for new animal lineages, including reptiles that would evolve into dinosaurs. The partnership between plants and animals deepened as herbivores fed on leaves and fruits, while carnivores hunted within the shade of gymnosperm canopies. By the Mesozoic era, gymnosperms ruled the world. Cycads, with thick trunks and palm-like leaves, flourished in warm climates. Towering conifers stretched skyward, their branches forming dense forests. The lone survivor of another lineage, the ginkgo, thrived as well, spreading its fan-shaped leaves across Asia and beyond. For over 100 million years, these seed-bearing plants defined terrestrial ecosystems. But another transformation was approaching, one that would forever reshape life on Earth. Around 140 million years ago, in the Cretaceous period, the first flowering plants soared. They brought with them flowers. Intricate reproductive structures, designed not only for efficiency, but also for beauty and attraction. Flowers introduced an entirely new evolutionary strategy. Partnership with animals as their colors, scents, and nectar lured insects, ensuring pollen was carried directly from flower to flower with incredible precision. This alliance unleashed a burst of diversity. Angiosperms spread rapidly across the globe, adapting into countless forms from tiny grasses to massive tropical trees. They outcompeted many gymnosperms, reshaping ecosystems into the lush, varied environments we recognize today. In addition to flowers, angiosperms developed fruits protective vessels for seeds that doubled as rewards for animals. Birds, mammals, and even dinosaurs consumed these fruits, spreading seeds far and wide in return. This mutually beneficial relationship accelerated the dominance of flowering plants. By the end of the Cretaceous, flowering plants blanketed the earth. Grasses spread across open plains, while forests of flowering trees shaded rivers and valleys. The world had become vibrant, colorful, and dynamic in ways unseen in earlier ages. The asteroid impact that ended the age of dinosaurs did not stop the rise of In fact, they flourished even more afterward, filling niches left vacant by the extinction of giant reptiles. Their partnership with mammals ensured their continued success. Over millions of years, angiosperms co-evolved with animals into intricate webs of life. Bees specialized to pollinate certain flowers, while fruits evolved to appeal to specific birds or mammals. This deep interconnectedness shaped the modern biosphere. Today, every ecosystem on land is shaped by the legacy of these evolutionary steps. The wheat in our fields, the rice that feeds billions, the roses in our gardens, all are angiosperms, direct descendants of that ancient Cretaceous revolution. Yet relics of older worlds remain. Ferns, horsetails, cycads, and ginkgos still survive as living fossils. Mosses continue to thrive in moist corners, whispering reminders of the first steps plants ever took onto land. Each layer of Earth's plant history, from spores to seeds to flowers, represents not only adaptation, but reinvention. Plants transformed a barren rock into a lush, oxygen-rich world, teeming with complex life. Without them, there would be no breathable air, no fertile soil, no food chains to sustain animals. Humanity itself is possible only because ancient plants paved the way. From the simplest moss clinging to whetstone, to the towering forests that birthed coal, to the blossoms that sustain bees and birds. The evolution of plants is the green heartbeat of Earth's history, a saga of survival, innovation, and transformation.